The House on Legs. Marwan Singh was born on September 2nd, 1975 in the small Canadian town of Sarnia. And who would have thought that this unassuming guy would go down in history? Not for just anything, but for his beard. Yeah, that's right. The very same beard that, no joke, could fit 5 whole people inside. It all started when Marwan simply grew out his beard. Slowly, stubbornly, and without any real purpose. But one day, staring into the mirror, it hit him. His beard wasn't just facial hair. It was an architectural marvel. At first, his friends thought he was joking when he mentioned having people climb into his beard, but Marwan was dead serious. He studied the Guinness World Records guidelines, confirmed that the category for longest beard with the most people inside was still up for grabs, and got to work. To make sure his beard could hold 5 people, Marwan had to treat it like a sacred relic, washing, combing, and oiling it regularly. Otherwise, the whole thing would have just ripped apart. He even trained his friends so they wouldn't get tangled up and yank out half his hair. And of course, he had to arrange things with Guinness World Records, because without official adjudicators, this would have just been a really weird party, not a world record. The whole spectacle was equal parts impressive and absurd. Marwan stood there like a monument while his assistants scurried around, carefully arranging people in his thick mane. The first brave soul climbed in like it was a hammock. The second clung to the first, then the third, fourth, and fifth. At some point, it stopped looking like a beard and more like a hostel for extreme sports enthusiasts. On July 12, 2011, he officially set the record, and Marwan Singh made history as the man with the world's most roomy beard. Nails taller than the Bourj Khalifa. Sridhar Chilal was born on July 2, 1938, in the Indian city of Pune. This unassuming man might have lived an ordinary life, but fate had other plans. He made history. The record-breaking nails on his left hand grew to unbelievable lengths. It all began with a simple school incident in 1952. At 14, Sridhar accidentally broke a nail in class and was scolded by his teacher. Hurt and angry, the teenager vowed never to cut his nails again. What started as a childhood grudge turned into a lifelong obsession. Year after year, decade after decade, his nails continued to grow, twisting into bizarre spirals. Living with such nails became a daily struggle. Simple tasks required immense effort. Washing his hands took hours, dressing without help was nearly impossible, and he could only sleep on his side, carefully arranging his treasures beside him. Even eating was a challenge. Using a fork was risky, as he could accidentally stab his own throat. His unusual fixation made traditional work unfeasible. His nails simply wouldn't allow it, yet he found a way to monetize his uniqueness, earning money through photo shoots and interviews. His extraordinary appearance drew journalists and curious onlookers from around the world. Then, on July 11, 2018, just after his 80th birthday, his achievement was officially recognized by the Guinness World Records. The most astonishing was the nail on his thumb, stretching about 2 meters, 6.5 feet, resembling a curved saber. The others were slightly shorter, but no less incredible. That same year, right after setting the record, Sridhar did the unexpected. He finally cut his legendary nails. The reason? Declining health. The nails had become unbearably heavy, restricted blood flow, and made life painful. Today, his famous nails are preserved in the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. Marshmallows won't make me fat. One fine day, an ordinary guy from Chicago named Jason Newman, born on March 15, 1985, made history by setting one of the funniest Guinness World Records ever. His achievement? Marshmallow eating. It all started as a harmless joke at a friend's party. Jason and his buddies were laughing as they tried to eat marshmallows without using their hands, when suddenly he realized he was actually the fastest at it. After a few YouTube videos and his friends' enthusiastic reactions, Jason became obsessed with setting an official record. But the road to glory wasn't easy. Jason had to develop a full-fledged strategy. He experimented with head angles, trained his chewing speed, and learned not to choke. His friends mocked him, and his family just shook their heads, but nothing could stop the stubborn record breaker. The sticky texture of marshmallows posed a unique challenge. If he didn't chew fast enough, they'd turn into a gluey lump that was hard to swallow. Jason even developed a special breathing technique to avoid suffocating during his bizarre feat. Then, on June 4th, 2019, the moment of truth arrived. 10 fluffy white marshmallows were laid out in front of Jason. The judges started the timer and the show began. The first 3 marshmallows vanished in seconds. Jason caught them mid-air like a hungry pelican. By the 4th one, he had perfected his technique. A quick tilt of the head, a precise lip grab, and an instant swallow. The last few marshmallows were tougher. The sticky mass clung to the roof of his mouth, making chewing difficult, but Jason refused to give up. His head bobbed with such speed that he looked like a woodpecker hammering a tree. When the 10th and final marshmallow disappeared, the clock stopped at 1 minute and 18 seconds. A new world record was born. After his victory, Jason admitted his biggest fear was sneezing at the worst possible moment. But in the end, everything went smoothly and he achieved his dream. My head is my hammer. In a small Norwegian town of Bergen, on August 12, 1987, a man was born who would go down in history thanks to his unusual and even frightening talent. Johan Jelland, an ordinary-looking guy, set a world record so bizarre that just hearing about it makes many people's heads hurt. It all started with an everyday accident in 2015. While doing repairs in his garage, Johan accidentally hit his head on a protruding nail. Instead of getting upset, he and his friends began joking about it. The jokes turned into a bet, and the bet into an idea to set an official record. I've always liked testing the limits of the human body, Johan admits. After several months of intense and highly specific training, including neck-strengthening exercises, and perfecting his striking technique, he did it. On March 3, 2016, Johan achieved what most people would consider impossible. In front of the Guinness World Records Committee, he hit his head against a nail 127 times in 1 minute. That's more than 2 strikes per second. Witnesses described the feat as both impressive and unsettling. Johan used a specially prepared board with a nail of a precise length, long enough to register the impacts but not so long as to cause serious injury. Each strike produced a distinct sound that made spectators instinctively cringe. The secret is in the technique, Johan explained. You have to find the perfect balance between force and speed. Too hard, and it's dangerous. Too soft, and it doesn't count. I developed a special rhythmic, head-swaying method. After setting the record, Johan admitted to having a severe headache for days, but suffered no lasting damage. Interesting hair. In the Japanese town of Tamba, on May 5, 1962, a man was born who would go down in history thanks to a truly unusual achievement. His name is Shigeo Yamaguchi. The story of this remarkable feat began completely by chance. During a routine visit to the barber, the hairdresser suddenly froze, scissors in hand, staring at his client's face. You have something sticking out of your nose," he muttered in confusion. Shigeo looked in the mirror and discovered that an incredibly long hair was indeed dangling from his right nostril, neatly curved as if deliberately styled. Most people in his place would have hurried to get rid of such an ornament, but Shigeo reacted to the discovery with unexpected enthusiasm. After a brief search, he learned that the Guinness World Records did, in fact, have a category for longest nose hair, and the current record stood at a modest 6.5 centimeters. At that moment, a bold idea was born: to break this record. For the next several months, Shigeo devoted himself to meticulously caring for his unusual hair. He used special mild shampoos, gently combed it with a fine-toothed comb, and even shielded it with his hand on windy days to protect it from damage. On March 23, 2010, Guinness World Records officials officially certified his achievement. When the judge announced the result, 8.8 centimeters, the room erupted in applause. Shigeo stood there with shining eyes, realizing he had made history. Something incomprehensible. In Bloomington, Illinois, on March 7, 1981, Vivian Wheeler was born, a woman who turned her uniqueness into a world record. She had a rare hormonal condition. Inspired by a documentary about bearded women of the 19th century in 2010, Vivian stopped shaving and embraced her distinctive feature. Despite public stares and mockery, her husband became her biggest supporter. By 2015, her beard had reached 15 centimeters, prompting her to pursue a Guinness World Record. On August 12, 2018, in Chicago, officials measured her meticulously groomed beard at 30.2 centimeters. After setting the record, Vivian became a motivational speaker and brand ambassador for beard care products.